What's up, you guys? I'm not amazing, I'm just mediocre. Welcome back to the channel and this Apex Legends video. Today I'd love to start a discussion with you about some of the lingering questions and loose story threads that are left over after the conclusion of our season quest for the Broken Ghost. We did get some answers, like we found out that the artifact is in fact Ash, a character from Titanfall 2, but that also raises a whole lot more questions and leaves a ton of mystery going into season 6. And I just love to theorize about all this information with you guys. The deep story and lore is one of the reasons I love Apex Legends. If you guys love Apex Legends too and you want to stay up to date on this awesome game, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell so you can know as soon as my next video is released. But getting right into these lingering questions left over. My first one has to do with Gibraltar. So in one of our final episodes of the quest, we had a confession from Caustic to Gibraltar that Caustic was in fact the mole who sent all of the information about the quest for the Broken Ghost to Revenant. And not only that, he appears to have hacked into Crypto's drone and framed him for the same thing that he was actually responsible for. However, he only told this face-to-face to Gibraltar. And I'm wondering if Gibraltar will actually tell the rest of the Legends about this information. And I personally think Gibraltar is actually going to keep it to himself in an effort to bring the Legends back together as a cohesive family. He is so torn up that everybody is broken apart, and that he's also willing to try and see the light in everybody. He will keep the information hidden while maybe, in some way trying to find a method to prove Crypto's innocence. Just a way to bring the group back together because he hates seeing everybody so fractured after all of these events have gone down. What do you guys think about that one? Make sure you leave comments down below so we can have an active discussion about any and all of these loose story threads. Next question on my list has to do with the evolving relationship between Loba and Revenant. Not anything romantic, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Loba's goals and what she would like to do to Revenant in vengeance for the murder of her parents. You see, previously she was dead set on destroying his source code, and that was her sole purpose this entire season. But now that she's found out the information that not only does Revenant not want to stop her from doing that, but he wants to help her, he wants to be there when it happens, and that is she will become his savior by doing this for him. I don't think Loba's gonna do it. I think this will be actually her form of vengeance. She will refuse to send him off to the death that he so desperately desires, because that's exactly what he wants, and this is the only way that she can get back to him, is force him to live this eternity of pain and suffering, his own personal hell that he's already trapped in. Why does she need to send him to hell when he is already there? The next question on my list doesn't have to do with the season quest itself, but rather with the events that happen alongside the season quest. With the Lost Treasures Collection event, we began to see the bunker hatches on Kings Canyon open up, one every week, and inside 3 out of those 4 bunkers were messages from Crypto's long-lost foster sister Mila, and I've covered these at length in some other videos. But all together, they added up to equal a message, a warning to Crypto that there is somebody on the inside, somebody working in the Syndicate and the Apex games who's in control of everything, and that he is watching. That's the big question right there. Who is this guy? Could it be the long-lost Apex Commissioner Cuban Blisk? That's my personal theory on that one. Definitely let me know what you think about that one in the comments below. The next question on my list has to do with 2 names that are going to be very important leading into it, most likely all throughout Season 6 of Apex Legends as we make our way to a new planet. We're going to Olympus as told by Ash, and Ash also mentions 2 specific names that scare Octane and Life9. Those are Darian and Duardo. Who are these 2 mysterious characters, and why is Octane so afraid of going back to his home planet to meet them? The prevailing theory out there is that they are potentially their relatives. Both Lifeline and Octane are from the planet where Olympus is located, and both of them were connected to wealthy, powerful families. Octane's family owns a massive pharmaceutical corporation that he wanted no part in. He wanted to live in the fast life, and so he went away from that company. her lifeline, her family, was actually war profiteers. And when she found out her family dealt in murder and death, she decided that she wanted no part in that and takes all of her winnings, putting them towards humanitarian efforts. So she's trying to make a different mark than her family has. And now both of them are being forced back into a situation where they are returned home. And these two particular names are making them scared, and they do not want to confront them. So that's my big question about these two, is what are they to Lifeline and Octane that makes them so terrified? So the fifth question on my list is probably the biggest question left on everybody's minds after the conclusion of this quest. How did Ash become the broken ghost? How was her head broken into pieces and scattered across an alternate dimension? Well, this is the one that I actually potentially have a theoretical answer for, and I want you all to buckle in for a ride, because I'm leading you down a rabbit hole of Apex Legends lore. So, going back to Titanfall 2 is the first time we meet Ash as a character. And while Ash does end up defeated in the campaign, that's not the end of her story. She goes on to become a faction leader in the Titanfall 2 multiplayer for Vincent Dynamics. And it says in her bio, she was actually recovered after her defeat at the hands of Jack Cooper and rebuilt, and now goes on to try to discover the secrets of her past, which she believes lie with the IMC Remnant Fleet. Now hang on to that piece of information. We're going to reach out to another piece of lore that has a very obscure pair of sentences that are a bombshell for the Titanfall universe. Now we go over to the backstory of Bangalore. There's this news article that contains a black box transmission between the last moments that she had with her brother before they were separated. In the very end of the article, the journalist poses a couple of questions that are mind-boggling, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. She asks, does Bangalore know anything after the communications blackout of 2715? Does she know that no one returned from the final battle at Grid Iron? Does she know who won the war? Guys, nobody knows who won the Frontier War. Two giant armies came together and nobody knows what happened. Now, I have a theory about what happened. I believe the IMC and Frontier Militia fleets came together for a final battle. I also believe that Ash was with the IMC fleet trying to recover the secrets of her past before they were lost and destroyed forever. Now, the IMC has a history of trying to harness ancient technology with massive destructive power, and I think they set off something they did not fully understand. I think they set off an ancient, advanced weapon that created an interdimensional blast that sent everybody, including both armies and Ash, into alternate dimensions. And that also explains why Hammond Robotics would want her back so badly. She either knows, has information about this weapon, or how to recover the fleet that's been lost in space and time. That's my huge Ash theory, and I want to know, what do you guys think about all this Apex Legends intrigue we have leading up to Season 6? I'm really excited. Hey, if you guys missed any of the lore that happened this season, click the playlist on your screen so you can get caught up to date. Not amazing, I'm just Meaty Yogurt, and I'm out.